You won't believe how this divorce story unexpectedly takes such a turn. In just 10 minutes, a fiery man turns into a tiny pile of ash. Fred runs the family funeral home. A third-gen operator, skilled at turning ashes into art, including Greta's, were made into a record engraved with the favorite tune. He wanted his wife to always be by his side. As for the blood from the incident, there were people who offered to lend a hand with the cleanup, but Fred was all like, "No thanks, mate." He thought that Lai Tang was the gateway to the afterlife and shouldn't be trampled by mundane matters. Plus, his wife served him divorce papers. She was done with this old-fashioned. The funeral home was falling apart, and with hardly any customers, he thought renting it out to film crews could be a great idea. Plus, with his killer makeup skills for the deceased, he landed a gig as a makeup artist and was off to my. Fred was completely clueless. That night he texted his wife trying to salvage things, but her reply was a photo full of packed bags. Clearly her mind was made up. Watching Lai Tang still working on set, he finally made up his mind. Killing someone is straightforward. Fred saw many dead. The crew promised to clean Lai Tang up before he left, including the blood splatter. He didn't need to lift a finger to clean the scene, but what he didn't foresee was a body in a coffin and covers plot flaws. Background actors know the high pay for playing dead. Lunch includes chicken legs. Hunted by the mob, Charlie needed side jobs to flee. He bonded with Greta on the film crew. They quickly became best buds, planning to sell some teeth together. But by the next morning, Charlie was still waiting for her. He went to the funeral home, but Fred said Greta left with the crew. The luggage photo on his phone was the solid proof. As Charlie left, still unsure, he saw Fred dancing to music. This didn't look like the reaction of a man who had just lost his wife. He immediately started his own investigation. After confirming with the crew that Greta was still MIA, Charlie quietly snuck back into the funeral home, but his footsteps in a hurry to escape. He dove into a coffin, but by sheer luck, he stumbled upon blood in the light bulb. He wanted to get a closer when Fred miraculously shot back around the corner. Charlie quickly pulled out the evidence he had just found, but Fred, unfazed, insisted that his wife had gone to Miami and that the blood on the bulb was just a fake prop blood from the crew. Charlie, however, had him quickly waving red flags. As someone who'd played a corpse, he remembered the crew had actually wrapped the fixtures in plastic to keep them safe, so that drop of blood had to have been added after the crew left. All they needed to do was call the cops for an analysis, and boom, they could prove Greta was dead. As the tension escalated, the director from the crew suddenly burst in, saying Greta had sent her photos showing she was at the beach in Miami. Charlie's eyes went wide. His gut instinct was usually spot on. Could he really be wrong this time? After saying goodbye to Fred, he still felt a little, so he followed the music to sneak upstairs. In Fred's room, Charlie discovered that so-called beach photo showing it was taken 3 years ago. Clearly, he was hiding something about Greta, but before he could grab his phone to call the cops, a violent force hit him from behind, and just before hitting the floor, Charlie saw Fred wipe away the blood from the lamp. All the damning evidence was cleared away. Of course, this included Charlie. When he finally regained consciousness, he found himself trapped in a dark box with the sound of roaring flames outside. Fred planned to roast him. Charlie flailed in the coffin, but luckily, the funeral home was short on funds, so Fred only gave him a flimsy shroud. Even in a direct confrontation, Charlie was disadvantaged. In a pinch, he pulled out a lighter, threw it into the furnace with force. It exploded instantly under the heat. Flames spread to the outside of the coffin, and the long-neglected Fred appeared once again. The entire funeral home was engulfed in chaos. Charlie even thought about drugging. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.